if you win the way you want to on July 19th, what's happening is like Jolie deleting Dana and Hunter's number off your phone. What if they call you and say, hey, like, I know you want Ilya before this.
I think I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm putting everything in. I'm in the best shape of my life, having a good camp, super focused. You know, before I started a diet like 6 weeks before I showed up to training camp here in Florida. I completely quit drinking like 6 weeks before or 5 weeks before I showed up here. Like, I'm trying to do everything I can to be my best for my last one, honor this game, put on a show, and go out there. And this is it for me, I believe.
Max knows that Dustin's done, right? Dustin's going to walk away from fighting. Max still has to be here. He wants to get a victory over Dustin as Dustin retires, because he's still got to deal with everything that mixed martial arts.
Tom Aspinall has fired up the fire pot leading into Holloway versus Poirier by asking why a title is even on the line here. But while the heavyweight isn't convinced by the stakes, the UFC certainly has other ideas, and they're bringing out all the tricks to make this fight unforgettable. Tom Aspinall recently shared his take on the upcoming Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier clash, criticizing the UFC's decision to attach a title to the bout. According to him, this high-profile matchup didn't require a belt to elevate its stakes, given the legacy and reputations of both fighters. Aspinall's sentiment reflects a growing opinion among purists who believe prestige and performance should drive hype, not manufactured titles. But in spite of this criticism, the UFC appears committed to making this bout a splashy headline event with extra gold up for grabs.
I mean, it's a title, in it, but it's not a world championship, so what are we doing? These guys don't need a title, do you know what I mean? Like, the two legends of the sport, look at the name value, even look at the rankings, look at the amount of fights they've got, look at the shorts they're wearing. Like, we don't really need a title on the line, to be honest.
It's a matter of more than mere appearances from the UFC's viewpoint, declaring this bout a title bout, since Dustin Poirier has been signaling strongly that this could be his last stroll to the octagon. The organization views the opportunity as a marketing high point. Raising the stakes helps them create more hype and emotional stake among fans. UFC understands how to take retirement speculations and turn them into storytelling gold, and Poirier's rumored goodbye provides interesting drama to a highly filled event. Attempts at capitalizing on this narrative didn't end at promotion levels. Fighters and analysts alike also took up the fray to take the moment to the next level. Max Holloway, never one to be quiet for a microphone, made it abundantly clear in post-fight interviews that his target was Poirier, fueling the hype machine further. The call-out put personal stakes into the bout, providing the public with not only a battle of abilities, but of two warriors who have extensive history and respect for one another looking to settle scores.
Like you said, it sucks to be spoiler, but it has to be done. You know, when he's riding into the sunset, like you said, I'm still gonna be here chugging along, trying to get a title shot or trying to win trying to become a double champ and make history. So at the end of the day, I gotta go out there and do my thing. You know, it sucks that it has to be this one. It has to be Dustin's last one, but that's just the way the cards unfold. I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, the rankings, I wouldn't take too concern of it, or take it too seriously, just because you and I know we live in a sport where moments are kings. You know what I mean? And if I can go out there, I can have a UFC 300 moment again. Come July 19th. Who's to say I'm not right there for an undisputed title again? So we see what happens. With Dustin, bro, like he's a point down guy too. So I wouldn't be surprised if he started, if he initiated it. So at the end of the day, I mean, you got to. If we get to the 5 seconds, bro, if we get to the 5th round with the 10 seconds left, I think he might beat me to it and might point down first. And for sure, I'm gonna happily accept that any day of the week.
Daniel Cormier was quick to bring his own analysis to the table, laying out the very tracks Poirier would have to take to have his hand raised. Cormier deconstructed the bout tactically, weighing Poirier's toughness, endurance, and striking effectiveness as the most important factors. His observations were a reminder to viewers that despite Poirier being close to retirement age, he is still a very dangerous and calculating fighter who can produce elite-level fights under duress.
I'm retiring, but I want to go out on a victory. I'm not just here to take part in this, right? Dustin wants to win, and obviously he's beaten Max Holloway twice, right? So he's an opportunity to fight a guy that he's already had success against. But it ain't gonna be easy. I mean, Max is as good as they come, and he's motivated to hold on to that BMF championship.
Cormier didn't leave Max behind. He highlighted that Holloway stood to lose everything here, too. Victory lifts Max's already legendary status to another stratosphere, and defeat might arrest his late-blooming momentum. With both sides betting big, Cormier depicted two legacy-drenched fighters laying it all on the line, not for belts, but for significance, remembrance, and the last acts of their competing sagas.
Max knows that Dustin's done, right? Dustin's gonna walk away from fighting. Max still has to be here. He wants to get a victory over Dustin as Dustin retires, because he's still got to deal with everything that mixed martial arts is.
Cormier finally sided with Holloway as the favorite, and his explanation was based on recent form, toughness, and momentum. With Max's dominance over Justin Gaethje and his tireless tempo, it is no surprise that most pundits are siding with the Hawaiian. Holloway's capacity to drown men with volume while keeping top-shelf composure makes him a bad matchup for all but a handful at 155, and when confidence is riding high and personal stakes are involved.
The odds, DC, my bookie has them at a slight favorite for Holloway, minus 140, Poirier plus 110. Does that surprise you at all? Like, what's the case, given he's 0-2 against Dustin, for him to be the favorite as we enter fight week here?
I just think they saw what happened the last time he fought at 155. I think they saw what he did to Justin Gaethje, and I think because of that, they're giving him respect and credit for it. I mean, and he should get that, right? He fought a tremendous fight in that fight, so we'll see.
Brendan Schaub, however, took a totally different approach and pledged his support for Poirier. Though he did not go as in-depth tactically, his opinion was resolute and unapologetic. Schaub's opinion represented a larger contingent of analysts and viewers who view Poirier's toughness, strength, and lightweight experience as positives Max has not yet overcome. For them, the story of Poirier walking out on a high note seems a proper ending, and maybe even the more probable one.
You know, guys who are 0-2 have never won the third fight? My only caveat with that is you're talking Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. I'd say Max Holloway's evolved so much since those last two fights. Their first fight was 12 years ago. Their second fight was 6 years ago. They took the second fight on short notice, if you remember that. Wasn't a natural 155er, just kind of didn't cut weight at the time. Came in there. There's a huge power difference. Yeah. It's Dustin Poirier's last fight. They're both so much better since they competed 6 years ago. Way better than they competed 12 years ago. But if you had a chart on who's progressed the most, it'd be Max Holloway, especially at 55. Especially now he's older. He's so much better. He's so much better. But history says Dustin Poirier should win this fight. And in his hometown, and he got Lil Wayne walking him out.
Likewise, Phil Rowe seconded Schaub's opinion, being in Poirier's camp before this war. Rowe trusts Poirier because of his proven capability to adjust in deep water and get fight-changing damage. He stressed that though Max is relentless, Poirier's planned power and battle-honed instincts may be all it takes to flip momentum in decisive moments. Rowe, like most others, has faith that if Poirier remains sharp and keeps away from early brawls, he can break Max down in the later stages.
UFC 318, you got any thoughts on that main event? Because it's like, you know, Holloway versus DP. Dustin's up 2.
Respectfully, I don't care to see it again. When I say I don't want to see the fight again, it's because Dustin's going to beat the shit out of him. I'm just tired of seeing the same fights. He's a legend. I don't think he can beat Dustin. I think Dustin beats him. I think Dustin hits harder. I think he's bigger. I think he's stronger. I think he grapples better. I think he's more confident. I think he's going to be hard to beat at home. I think he's beat him already twice. I think he called his shot as he should. Max doesn't shy away from anything. I am just a fight fan answering this question. I'm biased to DP. I think he's going to beat him. Easy.
Chael Sonnen also didn't play it down. He came out swinging with a firm opinion. This bout won't even be close. In Chael Sonnen's opinion, Poirier will overpower, period. He maintained that Dustin's recent performances and outright brute power will overwhelm Holloway before the final bell. Sonnen wrote off Max after saying his toughness is a myth that can't continue forever. This is one-sided business, he stated. Whether you like it or not, Sonnen's remarks have poured gasoline on an already fierce firestorm of forecasts.
And Max is a pain in the ass for everybody, but not for nothing. They have done this fight twice. Once at this very weight class. And it was not competitive. That's just the truth. Off the top of my head, 4 rounds to 1. But it might have been 5 rounds to 0, and it just wasn't competitive for whatever was amongst those two guys, and it was purely boxing, but Dustin went right through him.
Volkanovski, who has gone against Holloway thrice, also had something to say but tilted in favor of Max on intangible reasons. He talked about the mental strength Holloway has shown with every defeat, every battle, and every comeback. Volk feels that kind of strength cannot be quantified on paper but becomes irrefutable inside the octagon. From enduring wars to surpassing top pressure fighters, Max has established a resume that is nothing short of impressive, and Volk feels that attitude may decide this fight in his direction.
At a range, he really understands, he really gets it, he really knows how to make people miss, how to get them out of position and capitalize. So I think that's going to be a key for him in this fight. It's just what Max is going to turn up after his last loss. That's the only thing I'm worried about. If that loss didn't happen, they were fighting, I would take Max. I'd be quite confident in Max getting the victory. But now he's coming off a KO loss. I want to see, how does that affect him? Because, I know from experience, it ain't easy bouncing back. And
still, in spite of rumors that all of this drama is a marketing ploy to drive viewership, Dustin Poirier put any question of his motives to rest. In an open, honest announcement, he assured that win or lose, it will be his last fight. That confirmation lends weight to all of it, from the walkout to the final bell. To the fans, it's no longer a battle, it's a farewell. And for Poirier, it's the final war in a legendary career characterized by grit, heart, and unforgettable moments.
If you win the way you want to on July 19th, what's happening is like Jolie deleting Dana and Hunter's number off your phone. What if they call you and say, hey, I know you want Ilya before this?
I think I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm putting everything in. I'm in the best shape of my life, having a good camp. Super focused. Before I started a diet like 6 weeks before I showed up to training camp here in Florida. I completely quit drinking like 6 weeks before or 5 weeks before I showed up here. Like, I'm trying to do everything I can to be my best for my last one, honor this game, put on a show, and go out there, and this is it for me, I believe.
So even if you think the title is real or not a prop, the passion behind this fight is indeed genuine. Two icons, one last chapter, and a stake higher than gold. Subscribe now for more incisive analysis and uncut fight previews here.